So what this means is if you want to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars more over your lifetime, as brutal as it sounds, just looking better will get you there. And people who already look better are harvesting the extra money without any extra effort. When it comes to making money, most of the advice out there goes along these lines. Finish your education, get a good job, invest your money. Some say to put it into crypto, or maybe even start a business. And while all of those things in practice can definitely make you money, there's one crucial detail that has been proven over and over again in scientific literature, which is improving your looks. To newcomers, this might sound crazy, but in this video, I'll explain exactly how this works and how you can incorporate it into your own life. Before we get into it, if you're getting value from these videos, you can support the channel by liking and subscribing, and I do read the comments, so you can leave your thoughts down below. Now let's get into it. So, if you hear this idea for the first time, that your looks can influence how much money you make, it might sound crazy or a bit exaggerated. So instead of starting with scientific studies and hypothetical examples, let's first look at the real world case. This man right here is Jeremy Meeks. In 2014, he was arrested, and when the police posted his mugshot online, something really crazy happened. The photo went viral, and honestly, if you look at it, anyone can see why this mugshot went viral. And millions of people started sharing the picture and drooling over his appearance. Many women were even saying that he was, quote unquote, too attractive to be in jail, often without even knowing the crime that he committed. It could literally have been anything, if you understand what I mean. But at this looks level, people get away with even that.
Do you remember the hot mugshot guy named Jeremy Meeks? You know, oh yes, remember that?
Oh, handsome.
There he is. That's him.
That is the sexiest, hottest mugshot I've ever seen.
That's an actual mugshot. Now, Jeremy was released from jail last year. He was immediately signed to a professional modeling contract just based on the sexy mugshot.
Yes.
Wow. So, are you happy that this sexy bad boy got a chance to redeem himself?
Yes.
Well, I think that answers the question.
Yes.
Handsome felon Jeremy Meeks blows up all over the world and now lands a modeling contract. Maggie says he is gorgeous, needs to be an Armani model. Amari says he definitely stole my heart. Sally says, marry me, Jeremy. Michi says, oh my, undies just fell right there.
So what's going on here is what psychologists sometimes refer to as the halo effect, where one positive trait, in Jeremy Meeks' case, it would be physical attractiveness, leads people to assume other positive qualities as well. And the video linked in the description discusses the halo effect more. After serving his sentence, he signed modeling contracts and started working in the fashion industry. So within a relatively short time, his life trajectory and his money changed completely. Nothing about his education or work experience changed. The only thing that changed is that he got recognized for being attractive. So, of course, Jeremy Meeks is an extreme example. Most people are not suddenly going to become international models because of their looks. But extreme examples like this sometimes can reveal underlying patterns. If extreme attractiveness, like in Jeremy Meeks' case, can dramatically change someone's life at that level, then smaller differences in attractiveness can still influence everyday outcomes in much more subtle ways, which we'll be proving in the rest of this video. Now, how does improving looks for the average person increase their money too? One of the most direct examples appears in income itself. Economists like Daniel Hamermesh, if I pronounce his name correctly, who wrote the book Beauty Pays, studied something called beauty premium and found that people perceived as more attractive tend to earn 10 to 15% more than less attractive people with similar qualifications. Over time, those small differences compound and become much higher earnings. So what this means is if you want to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars more over your lifetime, as brutal as it sounds, just looking better will get you there. And people who already look better are harvesting the extra money without any extra effort. Any investment into your appearance, if done correctly, will have an even bigger return on investment than, let's say, investing in the S&P 500, which gives you 10% annual interest.
Don't invest in Dogecoin. Don't even invest in the S&P 500. Invest instead in the SME 500. Invest in you because you will always beat a 10% return in the stock market. And if you think that Dogecoin is going to out-compete your personal growth, you're never going to win.
So we've seen that people with the same qualifications who are more attractive already earn more as a standard. But it goes even further than that. Even in hiring situations, two candidates with, again, the same qualifications, the more attractive candidate is more likely to get hired, even if their answers during the interview are nearly the same, the interviewer may subconsciously interpret the more attractive candidate as more confident or capable. For example, a large meta-analysis of hiring studies by Soda Stone Romero and Coates, I'm terrible at pronouncing names, from 2003, found that applicants who were perceived as more attractive were consistently rated more positively and were more likely to be hired. So again, to get hired, improving your looks first is going to have a substantial return on investment. If you're watching this video and you realize that appearance might matter more than you actually thought, the next question is obvious, of course. How do you actually improve your appearance? If you want a more clear idea of where you currently stand and what you could improve, you can get a transformation plan through the link in the description. It includes a face rating with a percentile of where you currently stand, an estimate of your potential, and specific steps that you can take to improve your appearance.
My daughter thinks that you are so cute. Oh my God. Stop! What's your name? Will. Will, good to meet you, Will.
For any women watching, a similar pattern appears in sales environments. Some research suggests that women who wear makeup during professional interactions can receive more favorable responses from clients. In the following well-known study by Nancy Atkoff and colleagues from 2011, they found that women who wear moderate amounts of makeup were perceived as more competent, more trustworthy, and also more professional than when they wore no makeup. So, of course, the makeup itself doesn't change your intelligence or your negotiation ability. What changes is how people perceive you. When clients interpret someone as more polished or more confident, they may feel more comfortable trusting their recommendations or agreeing to a deal.
You know what's fascinating is there are actual studies now that show for women in particular that you make more money if you do one thing, which is you wear makeup, which is wild. So there's 3 studies that have been done, totally different groups, one by Harvard, one by Stanford, and I can't remember, it was either Oxford or Cambridge. And the studies showed that women who, there was no attractiveness differential between them, but one wore makeup consistently at work and one didn't. They made anywhere from 20 to 40% more money inside of this study. What I thought was really interesting about that, because I'm not really historically a makeup girl, although being fully face painted for this, is that actually makes sense in a lot of ways, because we do have this initial reaction that we always have with people. You know, we judge somebody, like you talked about, almost immediately. And so when I saw that study, I thought, well, first of all, that's interesting. You don't have to be smarter, better looking, or anything else, and you can make more money just by the way you present yourself.
And on top of all of that, appearance can also influence everyday social interactions in ways that indirectly affect career outcomes. People who are perceived as more attractive, a lot of the times they also receive more warm reactions from others, conversations may feel easier, and people respond more positively to more attractive people. Those small reactions can gradually increase confidence and create a positive feedback loop, which in turn can affect how someone performs professionally as well. And the same happens vice versa. If you don't look good, people don't respond as warm, and this can also create a positive feedback loop, where you get less confident, less social, and that can also influence your career outcomes. So none of these moments are dramatic on their own, except if you're very attractive or very unattractive. But over time, those small differences start to accumulate and influence how much money you end up making.